Tyler Honeycutt's probably still sleeping.
Okay, then.
It's not a surprise.
Joshua Smith, do you feel like you're kind of just scratching the surface right now of what you can do?
Right now, as the season's progressing, I still feel like there's still a lot of stuff I can do. I mean, a lot of things have been going well. I mean, I think the BYU was a big step for me. The game, just like maturity-wise. Because, I mean, I got pretty frustrated in that game early on. I mean, we got off to a good start, and I think we had the lead basically the whole game, you know. And I really got down on myself when I picked up my fourth foul. I mean, the third one, I saw the replay, you know, and I knew that my hands were down, but the fourth one, I just felt like, you know, the ref was just picking on me, and then, you know, I saw my frustration. It was funny because my mom actually saw me, you know, on TV, and she said, "Hey, don't cuss on TV," and I was like, "What are you talking about?" She said, "I saw you say this is bullshit after you got your fourth foul." She said, "I thought I taught you better not to cuss," and I said, "Okay, I'm sorry."
But it's okay to cuss on video.
Oh.
Right now.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, man.
We can add
Just
it.
tell her not to watch it.
Yeah, she can't watch.
And basically, you know, my teammates were encouraging me. I remember what my dad said. My dad said, "Hey, man, you know, it's a long game. You know, just have fun." And, you know, I went back out there and just try to have fun, and we got to win.
You know, for someone who's been in foul trouble earlier this season, talk about the difference between you early in the season there and you in that game, and how you've grown since then.
I've just been getting smarter. I mean, I've been taking some risks, I'm not going to lie. I mean, when I came back in, you know, that charge on for that I took, I could have went either way. And I just said, hey, I mean, you just got to live life without any regrets. And that's the same thing in the game. And, you know, I saw him coming. I knew he was going to leave his feet, and I just wanted to get there first. You know, I got a good charge on him. I think that was his fourth foul.
Yep.
And he went to the bench for a while, which gave us a little run, and he was on the bench for a while. And basically, on offense, I knew I just had to be aggressive. Davies was on a little run, but I knew on defense he wasn't going to flop. He wasn't going to do anything, so I knew I could just turn and just go up on him.
Do you think there's a difference now with your teammates recognizing that they have to feed you in the post as compared to the beginning of the season? They've recognized that you're pretty unstoppable in there now?
Well, yeah, because, I mean, it's different because in the first part of the season, we saw a lot of man. So a lot of times we could run a transition. We could get a lot of one-on-one opportunities like the Kansas game. I mean, Honeycutt had 33 because they played man, and we just ran a lot of offense for them. And the more we see zone, you know, the easier it's going to be for us in the bigs to get the ball. Because, I mean, when they collapse, you know, guys are going to get wide open shots. And Jeremy's been hitting his shots. Malcolm's been hitting his shots. Zeke's been hitting his shots. Tyler Honeycutt's been hitting his shots. And it's just going to be easier for them to get more open threes and more open looks.
On defense, do you have an issue with mobile big men where you have to go out? They might go out to the three-point line or at least move out on the perimeter.
Yeah, because, I mean, you know, I consider myself a true five, and, you know, in our league, you know, a lot of times I'll be playing a five that's not really a five, you know, like Derek Williams, who could play the 3 or 4.
Right.
And, you know, like Pacific, when we played Pacific, you know, their player, I forgot his name, but he was basically, you know, out shooting threes. He was getting, you know, faded screens and stuff. And I just got to keep working on my defense, just moving my feet. And I'd probably say my problem is just not moving my feet at the right time. I mean, I go out there kind of standing up, and then when he makes a move, then I'm a little late, and then, you know, that's what I get. When in this first half, when I got that blocking foul, when he drove past me and I just got there late and just stuff like that.
Yeah, but you picked Fredette doing that too.
That was just, I saw him, he came off the screen, he kind of came out kind of lazy, and I saw him just dribbling the ball high, and I just said, hey, why not?
That might have been.
It was just funny because, I mean, I knew I had the hedge, but I knew with Fredette, a lot of guys, when they're coming off the hedge, you know, they look to drive, but since they were down by so much, I knew he was going to space off for 3. And I just saw him, and he was looking around, and I was right there, and I said, okay, I got long arms, I might as well just try to hit this out. And I remember Coach told me not to reach, but we got to steal, so.
So he was okay with that?
Yeah, he was okay.
Okay.
Josh, your rebound numbers have pretty much doubled over the last 5 games. What are you doing differently?
Just be more aggressive. I mean, I kind of saw my potential in the Kansas game, you know, because, I mean, I'd probably say those are probably the 2 best guys I've gone up against. I mean, I played them in AAU, but that was, you know, a while ago, and the Morris twins, you know, are one of the top players in the country. And, you know, when I saw my stats after that game, I had a double-double, and then I just kind of thought, if I can do it against these guys, you know, the sky's the limit. You know, the more I get, you know, the more I play, the more smarter I get, and the more stuff that happens, you know, it's just better.
So you look forward to playing bigger true fives, is what you're saying. Someone more your size, you'd rather.
Yeah, I mean, with me, I just have to, you know, come to every game the same. I mean, the first couple games, I didn't really get too hyped up to, because we were playing teams that I didn't really know of, like Pepperdine, and nothing against them Pacific. I was just kind of like, those are teams we're supposed to be, And then he played Villanova at Madison Square Garden, and this is kind of like, we're like, okay, this is where you prove a statement, and then like VCU and Kansas. But basically, I just have to come to every game, like the same. With the Montana game, that's a good example of, we thought, we could just walk in and win. They prepared, they outplayed us and they beat us. And we're just trying to make sure that doesn't happen again.
What do you know about Montana State? Have you had a chance to see them yet?
I haven't had the chance to see them. The only thing I really know is a buddy of mine that used to play in my league is on their team, but I don't know if he plays or not, but that's the only thing I know.
How do you guys avoid the letdown you had against Montana?
Basically, it's just going to start, with us just coming together. Coach was saying after the game, he said, we're playing Montana State, and then, the guys, we're just all like, let's not, we already remember, because he said that, we already remember the Montana game, and how bad we felt, that we lost to a team at home that, was set up for us to win, for our non-conference schedule. And we know, like, these games right now, we have to get, to help us for the tournament. These are the games that are set up for us to win. And, we just got to get as many wins as we can before Pac-10 starts.
Did you meet Kevin Love when he was on campus?
No, I didn't get a chance. I went to my cousin's house.
Have you met him?
Yeah, I've met him before. I've been a couple times.
Is it important to not only win this week, but kind of clean some things up in the process and kind of be sharp going into Pac-10?
Yeah, because, we got to be sharp because, the first two Pac-10 games we're playing against, one of the two top teams in our conference. Washington State, I think, only lost one game. They lost to Kansas State, in a game that could have gone either way. And, they had a couple buddies of mine that used to play with, like, Reggie Moore and, D'Angelo Castro. And, they're pretty good. They have Klay Thompson, who's leading their conference in scoring. And, like, with me, this is a whole different ballpark. This is my first time on Pac-10. And a lot of guys, tell me, it's a lot more fun, it's a lot more harder. But, right after that, we play UW, who went to the Sweet 16 last year, who I'm familiar with, who, is ranked and basically who's picked to, win the Pac-10. So we just got to get these wins.
You fighting a cold right now?
Huh?
You fighting a cold at all?
No, it feels good.
Somebody said, what are the kind of 2 or 3 things you guys really need to kind of clean up before Pac-10? What would you say?
I'd probably say just being a lot patient, just like our help defense. A lot of times in the BYU game, we had a couple guys like Jimmer Fredette and Emery were no help, no cover guys, and a lot of times, we would help. He's wide open in the corner, knock down the 3, and and just basically just to play hard. We just have to keep playing hard and not quit if somebody, if a play doesn't go our way, and just keep going.
Thank you, Joshua Smith.
Thank you.